probably give you about 20. I think in this industry, a lot of the time, every day you encounter some sort of stressful encounter. Without it sounding too negative, I think that's what performance is. It's constantly being under stress to perform. At this level, you can never sort of not think about it and just be carefree, and it just all falls into place for you. So I think, performing, if you're not in the team, for me, I think recently I've not been in the team as much as, I'd want or like. So it's when you get that opportunity, the stress of dealing with how much you want to do well to give yourself a better chance of playing more. So I think that's sort of the most recent thing, or probably injury, picking up another bad injury at the start of the season. That's a stressful moment again, that, it happens in this game, and you have to just deal with it and take it for what it is, embrace the whole experience and grow and come back from it. And it's the same as life, just keep putting one foot in front of the other. But yeah, I could give you a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, I think for me, it's the moment, the injury I have in the moment, and the rehab I go through. It's like you always want to get fit, and but these things take their time. You cannot really rush them, even if you want to go quicker. That's your body gives you the pace that you have to follow, and of course, you always question yourself, and you always want to come back, and you just have to wait. That's nothing comfortable. If you can do a lot, but you have not the influence on everything. So yeah, that's it. That's not too funny at all. Yes, I think it's quite important to be like happy in life at all. It's like, and I think friends and family are the most important part. It's like, this is the most important part. I love playing football, but my family goes over everything, and I think that's quite normal for everyone. And especially during the time at COVID, it's not that easy if the family is that far apart. But yeah, you have to deal with it. You try to connect, and even if you're at home, you maybe not watch every game of football and do something else. Then it's like even it's just a movie or something else. But yeah, not everything is about football. Even if I love football, and when I'm here, my head is only about football. But at home, I try to relax and yeah, try not to think too much about football.
For me, it's friends and family, really. That's the thing that takes my mind off of things. It's about having fun. I think the thing with football is when it's great, it's amazing. It's the best thing ever. When you're going through a tougher patch, it can feel like one of the worst things ever. Like you do everything you can. You put every bit of effort in mentally and physically to achieve and be the best you can. And when that's not going the way you want it to go, or the way that maybe you think it should, or an injury, for example, as well, that can be stressful and take a lot out of you mentally, really. So for me, it's just switching off. I like to play golf. Whether that's just socializing with my friends. That's the time when I don't really have to think about football, or what I have to be doing to make sure I'm ready for the game in 4 days time, whatever it is. But at some point that always has to switch, because every single day how we live affects the next training session, the game. So it's just having little moments and finding that balance where when you can let your hair down and relax, play golf, or go see your friends, go out for a coffee, whatever it is, that I need to make sure that I do that. And I find that when I'm happier in life, it comes out in football in a positive way as well.
I think you don't have to be optimistic all the time. You have to know that you have to come back, and there are some bad times, and this belongs also to life, to a life of the footballer. It cannot be always sunshine, and so you really enjoy the moment when there's some sunshine. That you really enjoy the moments when you're on the field, when you can train, when you can play. That's like you really like to appreciate these kind of moments more. And yeah, but I came back already, and I know this, and that's my headline. I know I can do it, so I will do it again.
For me, it's absolutely huge, and I don't, you don't really think about it whilst you're 18, 19, 20, 21 necessarily. How it can correlate, but it's massive in football. It's there's like I don't know if Joel gets it, but as a sort of more attacking minded player or creative player, where you're always trying to do something to affect the game and score a goal or create a goal, and you're taking the ball under pressure, and you need to feel that sense of invincibility almost. And I think there's a time where, for me, it's if I score a goal. It's weird. If I score a goal or do something, just comes over you where you feel like, yeah, I feel great. And that's obviously, it's only mental. But when in that space, everything seems to happen so much easier, and effortlessly. So it's a case of trying to make sure you're always in or near that space, without having to rely on scoring a goal, doing something amazing. So for me, that's always the indicator that your mental state is so massive on performance and how you feel in the game. So yeah, and obviously mentality and your mental health, that all can stem from stuff outside of football, things that happen in life, things that happen with family, friends, normal everyday issues that people have. It affects your workplace, whether that's being a footballer or working for a big insurance company, whatever that is. It definitely plays a part, because at some point you need to have to do horrible work that you don't want to do to achieve your goals. And when you're in a better mental space, it's easier to go and do the things you need to do that you don't necessarily want to have to, or they're not as enjoyable, but they need to be done to help your performance. So yeah, massive.
How do you find your mental health? There is nothing to add. Ox explained it quite good. It was like have an effect on if I have a good game, it have like a great effect on my personal life. If I have a bad game, it like I'm not in the best mood afterwards on my couch, so or wherever. It's like it's the same. Like if I go with a smile directly into the training ground, it's like I really enjoy it and everything more. I maybe not enjoy everything, but it's getting easier. Like Ox said, it's like yeah. This is a thing that all belongs together, the family and the friends and the connections to each other. And yeah, that's a big part, I think, in the life of our family, in our lives. And it's very important to feel like, to be happy that you have the connection, for me personally. But yeah, what should I say? I said the family is the most important, and
yeah, massively. I think obviously the big, like Joel said, the big thing for us is you have a good game, you feel great, and you go home in a good mood, and you're nice to everyone, and no one can annoy you because you've got more tolerance. You have a bad game, and that changes. So it's a case of understanding, trying to separate sometimes football and leave that there to when you come home, but it never works like that, because you care so much, because it's so important, because you're so important, because it's so important, sorry, to do well and win games. You do take that home, and that's just the way it is. But it's being able to deal with that, and also be able to help the people that you love and people at home, whether it's your wife, girlfriend, parents, brothers, sisters. I find when I'm in a good mood, I'm better at doing that. However, for me, that's sometimes when I'm struggling a bit with my own stuff at football, or performance and stuff like that, it's almost like a release that I can, for me, to go and help other people with their problems. And indirectly, by doing that, I sort of puts me in a better space to then help me deal with myself and my problems. So, you know, I find help in helping the people that I love anyway, and that helps me help myself as well. Yeah, go on. I think it's massive. I think that for me, when I think about support, I don't necessarily need a best friend or my girlfriend or my mum or my dad to just, you know, always be blowing smoke up my backside, as they say, and, you know, saying I'm the best thing in the world. It's having that support that's real, and having that, you know, if you go on social media or online or the papers or pundits, you know, they can be negative on you at times, and then there can be like a knock-on effect that it just goes on for a while and you get negativity when really it's not always warranted. And the other side, that you can get positivity in situations where maybe it's not necessarily always warranted, but it's having that support structure at home that, you know, my best friends tell me when I've had a bad game. They're honest with me. Or if I have a good game, they're honest with me, and that's what you need. You need someone that's real with you, is honest with you, and even when you have the bad games, like, yeah, you had a bad game, all right, what are you going to do about it? What we're going to do? What do you need to do more of, or how can I help you? And just be honest with you. And when you have a good game, they let you know that as well, and they support you through all those times. But being honest, I think that's the biggest thing for me with the support structure, and I'm lucky that I've had that from a young age. And my dad, being an ex-professional, he's always sort of drilled that into me from a young age. Even when, you know, I was 10, 11, he would never let me get ahead of myself and tell me how good I am. But there would be every now and again a reminder, and there'll definitely be reminders when I wasn't great as well. And I think you need that to improve and to have a balance and know where you're really at. Because yeah, you can't always listen to exterior and what the media is saying or people on social media are saying.
I think it's really important. It's not always the things they said, but to just know that there's the support and they always have your back. It's like a masterpiece. So you always know you can rely on something, even if you don't ask. They're always there, because I never have to ask for help. That is a big release. It's always an offer. It's a question if I take it or not, but it will be always there, and I have the feeling it will be always there. So I always have a good feeling and can feel strong. And of course, it's not always easy for them, but I know they support me even if I come in a bad mood from a bad training or bad game home, and they are there, and they know how my head is going and what kind of thing is in my mind, and there's only there. That's sometimes enough, but my family is there, the friends are there to support me in every moment I have, and I'm a really lucky person.